This is a video about soul contracts and how spirit showed me, and I want to share this message because it really helped me understand especially some of the more difficult contracts I've signed with other people and why I did that. And seeing this vision really helped give me comfort and give me clarity and understand that all soul contracts we ever sign are all signed in love, even if they're bad or difficult or traumatic for you. So I wanted to share this message in hopes that it can help someone. So the meditation started as me coming out of my body and floating up into the cosmos and flying as high as I possibly could. It felt like I had reached source, and it was just pink and purple colours everywhere and stars, and I was in the middle of the cosmos and I saw this giant oval table. Now I don't think there's actually a table up in source, but who knows, this is just how it was shown to me to help me understand what was going on. And my soul walked towards this table, and there was just a piece of paper just sitting on the table, and the piece of paper was blank, so at this stage I had no idea what was going on, that it was about soul contracts or anything yet. And then this being walked in, kind of walked out of nowhere, towards me, and it didn't have human form. It was just this light being. It was just but I could sense that it was a soul, and I could recognize that person's energy. I knew exactly who it was, and it was someone that hurt me a very long time ago, and I was a little bit confused why he had walked in. And he comes up to me and he hands me this piece of paper, and my soul grabs it and reads it, and there's all these dot points of what our connection was going to be and what was going to happen between us. And it said that he was going to hurt me, and that I was going to have this incredible fear of men after him hurting me, and it would take years for me to fully heal from it, and that I would have panic attacks and go into freeze response, and it would be very traumatic for me. And my soul was holding this piece of paper, reading it all, going, yep, and just blindly just signs it like it was nothing. She just happily signed it. And it was like I was watching it in third person. I was watching my soul sign this contract, like, yeah, whatever. Like, she signed it like it was nothing, and I was screaming at her from behind, like I was kind of watching it from a bird's eye view, going, no, don't sign that, that's literally the worst contract, literally the worst person I've ever met, no, he ruined my life, no. But she couldn't hear me, and she just signed the contract like it was nothing. And they both looked at each other, and he just walked up to me and he just hugged me, and my soul and his soul, they hugged. And he said, he put up his hand and he said, I want to be the one to hurt you because I love you. And there was so much love between his soul and my soul, and I could not comprehend it at first when I was watching it. I was just like, I don't understand how this is happening, because in human form it wasn't like that, how everything played out, like it was not loving, but it was signed in love. This soul contract that was a very traumatic experience for me, I saw that we had both signed this contract with each other in a state of love, and it was really weird at first and hard to comprehend, but I was slowly starting to understand. And he just kept hugging me and saying how much he loves me, and that he wanted to be the one to do it. He wanted to be the one to traumatize me. He wanted to be the one to hurt me because he loved me. And then my ex-boyfriend walked in, who I met later, and he put up his hand and he said, and I'll be the one to make her feel safe again. And so they looked at each other, these two guys, and he said, I'll be the one to hurt her, and then my ex-boyfriend came in, and I'll be the one to make her feel safe again. And they shook hands and they made like a little agreement, and I'm watching this going, what the hell is happening? And my ex-boyfriend came and handed me his contract, and there were all these dot points of what was going to happen between us, and yes, he was going to make me feel safe again, and I wasn't going to have that fear of men anymore, and I was going to fall in love, and it was going to be beautiful and amazing, and then it was going to end. And then The end of the page was kind of all blank, and I didn't really know like whether there was going to be more dot points placed on that or not. It was kind of blurry, so unsure. And my soul just went, yep, signed it, and we hugged and we said how much we loved each other. And then all these other souls, all these other light beings started coming in, and just out of nowhere, everyone's just handing me sheets of paper. Sign this, sign this, sign this. And I don't know if this is how it actually goes. I doubt there's like a table with pieces of paper and pen and your soul's like, yeah, sure, sign, sign, sign. But that's how it was shown to me. That's how spirit showed me. And I was just doing all these crazy signings. Every soul that was approaching me, I was like, yep, I'll see you in 20 years. Yep, I'll meet you at 30. Yep, I'll meet you when I'm 15. See you there, see you there, see you there, see you there. And it was crazy. There were all these souls flying in all across the galaxy, all from different directions of the cosmos, coming in, all meeting at this source table. And they're all screaming at me, hey Jade, can I meet you in this lifetime? Hey Jade, can we meet up? Hey Jade, do you want to be friends? And it was crazy. Like everyone's yelling at each other across the table, signing contracts with each other. And it was like being an equity trader in the stock exchange, in the stock market, when everyone's yelling and screaming at each other. That's literally what it was like. Everyone was so excited to meet each other and to sign each other's soul contracts and to meet on Earth and to incarnate at the same time. And all these souls were so happy and so in love and so hyped up, and it was so beautiful to see, but also like so confusing for me because I was happily signing some of the worst contracts with people ever. I'm just like yelling at my soul like, don't sign that, don't sign that. But she didn't hear me, she didn't care. She was like, no, this is perfect, Jade's gonna learn all these lessons. Yep, sign, sign, sign. And I had a lot of my friends approach me and hand me a contract, and I'd read all the dot points like, yeah. We're going to be really good friends for a couple years, and then she's going to ghost me out of nowhere and she's going to leave. And then my soul was like, yep, perfect, sign, see you then. Oh, another one, yep, you're going to bully me, you're going to spread all these rumors about me and at school, and I'm going to get bullied. Okay, perfect, sign. And I was just crazy signing, and I'm like my soul wasn't even thinking about the repercussions of her actions of signing all these soul contracts that I was going to have to deal with in this lifetime. But I could see the love between all these souls, all these people that had really hurt me or bullied me. Every single one of them, my soul was hugging them, and we were just both saying to each other how much we love each other. And people who had broken my heart, they're going, I'm doing this because I love you, and then we'd hug, and it was just, we were all just agreeing to it. We all understood the signing process. We all understood the contract and the meaning behind it and why we were doing it. And although we cannot see it as humans, there is so much love when these contracts are signed, even if that love isn't felt in the human connection or in the human relationship. And this vision really helped me understand, especially that first guy who came in, one of the hardest contracts I've ever had. But to see us sign this contract together in so much love, and to feel that in my heart, like I felt the whole energy like all over my body, just so much love. And it really helped me kind of let that grudge go and let myself heal from that fully, and understand that on a soul level this was made out of love. And on a soul level, it's not perceived as a sin. What we do to each other here on this planet is just seen as a lesson on a soul level. And it was really healing for me to see it from this different perspective. And after this meditation, I wrote down some notes, so I'm just going to read that to you as well. That there is really no need for fear or anger, because your soul chose this. Your soul chose every contract, and your soul is always with you. And she was in full knowing in that moment when she signed it that you were meant to experience this, you were meant to meet that person, however difficult or traumatic it was. Your soul chose it, and your soul is always with you, and you are always guided to the people that you meet, even if it's painful. And I realized that surrounding me is everlasting love, love between every soul I meet, even if that's not perceived in the human lens. And everything, every contract was signed in love. And there's this perfect peace and joy that my soul had signing all these contracts, and that perfect peace and joy my soul was trying to share with me in that moment, in that meditation, of showing me how happy and excited I was to meet all these different souls, all these different people. Even the really bad contracts, like I'm getting handed some of them, I'm like, why would I sign this? There's no way I'm signing this. And my soul was so happy and ecstatic and full of bliss and love when she signed it. She was like, yep, Jade's going to love this. And there was just so much excitement between all the souls. They were just so pumped to meet each other on earth. And I realized that surrounding me is perfect safety, and can I really be afraid when my soul promises me that I am safe? Because she didn't look scared signing any of these contracts. She was completely centered, sovereign in herself, whole, feeling safe, feeling happy, in joy, in bliss, in love, and she knowingly signed it. She gave consent to all these things happening to me, and it was hard to watch, but also really good to watch as well. It just gave me a lot of kind of comfort and clarity, and just a lot more trust in my soul of, oh, she was really happy to sign this, okay, so it must be for a reason and it must be worth it. And surrounding me is perfect sinlessness, that nothing that was done was ever a sin, because it was all done with love on the soul level. And I know that's hard to say, but I saw it in my own experience, and that even the worst contracts I signed, they were signed in love. And what can you fear when your life experience was created, written and signed in perfect holiness of your soul, and your soul was in perfect love, and it was all done in source. It was all done in love. And your soul graces you in everything that you do, and then it is our will to grace and bless everyone and everything, no matter what contract it is. We just need to acknowledge that it happened for a reason, when we're meant to be here and we're meant to meet at this time. We're meant to have this encounter, whatever it is, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. We signed it together, up in source, up in love, up in that higher consciousness before we incarnated here. And we promised that we were going to do this for each other out of love, to teach each other a lesson, to help us grow and evolve and change and become the people that we were supposed to be on this planet we needed to meet. And that just gave me so much comfort and clarity around so many people that I've been so confused, like, why did I meet that person? What was the point? I was getting handed sheets of paper and was able to read what the purpose was, and it was just so helpful and really healing for me. But we also need to acknowledge the human, and that's slowing our progress, avoiding our human and trying to see it from the soul perspective all the time. So I don't want this to be like spiritual bypassing this message. I want to acknowledge the human as well, because you are human, but you're not at the same time. So you have to be really careful that you're not spiritually bypassing, and you cannot skip what happened to your human and go straight to your soul. Your human is just a vehicle, so it's not you, yes, but because it's your vehicle, if it gets hurt, abused, raped, if it experiences any violence or bullying or trauma, you need to acknowledge that, and you need to do healing around that. I'm not saying to avoid it. Just float up into the cosmos and see that it was all signed in love and everything will be fine. Like, no, this was just an element of my healing. To see it from that soul perspective was really good, but keep acknowledging the human part as well. And you don't need healing because you're already healed. See how this is tricky though. You don't need fixing because you're not broken, but you can't say that to someone who has serious trauma, who is seriously wounded or heartbroken, and they feel broken. you see how all this spiritual airy fairy jargon can actually stunt our growth and stunt our healing, and it creates a lot of shame around that feeling of feeling broken, and it slows down the healing process even more. So you need to acknowledge that shame, you need to acknowledge that pain, that heartbreak, that feeling of feeling broken. Don't ignore that through this message that I'm sending here. That's not my intention. And I made Esoteric Jade, this entire channel, to share how spirituality helped me, helped my mental health, helped my depression, and how these visions and meditations and messages have helped me. But I also need to acknowledge that it can also make it worse, and you can spiritually bypass. And I don't mean to spread fear, but we need to acknowledge this spiritual bypassing and ignoring the human and all its emotions and all its trauma, and going straight to the soul level won't always help you. So it depends where you are at on your journey. This might help you, or this might make no sense to you right now. That's okay too. But your body stores so much trauma. We need to work on that, and we need to make sure that we clear that and heal it. So don't just meditate and escape and avoid the fact that the human needs healing, because your human does need healing, whatever you've experienced. And then when you've healed the trauma that's stored in your human body, then you can look at the soul perspective with less resistance. Then you can look at this message with less resistance and really understand what I'm trying to say here, that whoever you've met, you've signed that contract in love. Your souls actually love each other, even if you don't feel that in human form. Some of the contracts I was watching, it was so hard for me to understand, like, no, this soul does not love me. This is a lie. This is all a trick. What is this meditation showing me? But in source, we are all in love with each other. We are all one. We are all connected. And there is no sin. There is no hate. There is no grudges. There is no, I'm getting karma from your past life that you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you. It's none of that. No backstabbing. It's all just signed in love to help you evolve, to help you learn, to help you grow. And seeing this vision really helped me. So I hope that this can help you, knowing that all your soul contracts are signed in love, and your soul has knowingly given consent and signed all these contracts, knowing that this is for your best good, for your highest good, for your highest evolution. And I hope this helps. So sending you heaps of love, guys, and whatever soul contracts come in, just trust your soul knowingly signed it. She wanted to sign it. She was so excited and so keen. And there's all these other people coming in, so many people you haven't even met yet, you've signed soul contracts with, and they're coming in right on time, right on schedule, exactly when your souls had planned it, exactly when you guys had signed it, and you have incarnated perfectly on time on this planet to meet all the people that you're supposed to meet. So just trust that, and trust that your soul is here with you, and trust that there is love between every soul you meet, even if you don't perceive that. Seeing from that soul level, all of this was done in love. So I hope that can help you and give you comfort and help you on your healing journey. So love you guys so much.